What is Riddle doing with that Sharpie? Well, based on his behavior, I say he sniffed that one and then sniffed about 5 others backstage, which totally explains his behavior. But then again, if you sniff 5 of those goddamn things or more, you're likely to end up in the hospital. But sniffing one, that's okay. I shall demonstrate. Oh, Jesus. Good. Fuck, why did I do that? Oh, well, that was a fucking mistake. Anyway, I'm Joe Renton with my review of WWE Raw from Memphis, Tennessee. We're on the road to Payback. Payback's just a few days away. My predictions will come up at some point. They come up right after Raw. They come up this Thursday. I don't know. Jesus Christ. Why the hell did people do that in school? Not that I ever did that in school. I huffed glue. Anyway, let's not talk about high school because Jerry Lawler's not in the goddamn building. Let's talk about this. First things first, though, I do want to thank everybody for continuing to support the channel. I really do appreciate it. And this is going to be a big wrestling weekend. We got Payback, we got All Out. My, oh my, a lot of crazy things happening in the wrestling world. Speaking of crazy things, last week was really crazy. Crazy in a bad way. Terry Funk and Bray Wyatt passing away within a day of each other. The graphics, the feels, the tribute graphics, and that is. So, we immediately start with a match. They usually do a 20-minute long, one-act play or even 10 minutes or whatever. No, they had Sami Zayn, they had Damian Priest in the ring starting 4 minutes in. Okay, I said, what's the catch? Are we going to have a DQ finish 5 minutes in and we're going to go to a main event with the various participants? We're going to do another Judgment Day schmoz. What are we going to do? They went 5 minutes and they went to the break. Now, there were only, I believe, 5 matches on this goddamn show. This was a well-paced Raw, all things considered. This actually felt like one of the best flows to Raw in a while. Let me tell you right now, when it's Raw, you want it to flow right. In wrestling as well. So, Zayn, still way over. He's strong as a goddamn bull. And, despite all the injuries and everything. And there was some good stuff here. This wasn't all that bad. I mean, Priest was the bigger guy, kept knocking down Zayn. Zayn would fight back. It looked like Zayn might get the kick in the corner, but then McTuna stared up at the spotlight. That Easter Island McNugget-looking motherfucker shows up. He distracts, kind of pulls the leg. The referee doesn't see because the referee apparently was distracted by a laser-eyed squirrel from The Simpsons over somewhere. It is Memphis, so I wouldn't put it past them. And Priest hits chokeslam, 1, 2, 3. And then McTuna is like, hey, do you appreciate me helping you? And Priest shows him like, fuck you. And then Zayn is there and Owens is there. And they end up basically, oh, god damn it. Oh, sniffing that Sharpie was a big mistake. Don't do that with head trauma. Don't do that in general. It's not good. There are chemicals in there. So anyway, Zayn and Owens lay him out. That looked like child abuse. So anyway, McIntyre is pissed at Riddle. Slowly, and very, very, much getting sick of Riddle. I can identify. Then we get a package on Raquel and Rhea. This is well done, despite the fact that Raquel has personality of driftwood when she talks. That being said, they took it seriously. This is good. This is the kind of stuff I enjoy WWE doing. They treat it like a sport. If only they would do that more often. Cena is coming to SmackDown, wap-a-doop-ba-ba-ba-ba, to Hershey, Pennsylvania, and the writer's strike is continuing to affect everybody to the point that Cena's like, I'm bored. I'm going to make some appearances for WWE. Good for him. Because he's going to be at SmackDown this Friday, and then he's going to be part of, I believe, the India Superstar Spectacle thing that'll possibly be up on Peacock at some point. It'll be taped. I don't know if I'm going to review it or not. We'll see. So, good on Cena. They really do need to end this actors and writers strike. The studios need to pay everybody fairly. Like, it's really fucking bullshit, I'll just say. So, Miz actually came out and did a fairly good impression of LA Knight. And this was good. This sold me on the match. I will give him credit for that. Knight did a great impression of Miz recently. They're firing back, and if they want to make this a program, I'm all for it, but LA Knight needs to win in the end. Then New Day took on the Raiders. Valhalla is dear. Drew and Riddle were at ringside, and I like Xavier and Kofi as a team, even though I'm kind of sick of the New Day shtick. Okay, I'm not kind of. I'm absolutely sick of it. But that being said, they still get reactions. What is Riddle doing with that Sharpie? I actually am convinced that he huffed so many Sharpies in school. That is why he acts the way he does. They were chanting, "Whoop that trick." Somebody had to tell me that had something to do with the Memphis Grizzlies. That is basketball. I haven't paid attention to basketball in quite a while. I'm aware of some of the players, but I'm not aware of that many. I also forget the Memphis Grizzlies exist. That being said, they were popular. Also, Michael Cole did not remember, or thought that Valhalla was the first person to ever wear antlers to the ring, first wrestler. No, the Barbarian did. He forgot the Barbarian wore antlers before Valhalla. Burn the heretic. The Berserker also wore something with horns on it. He also tried to stab the Undertaker. That was in early 1992. That was something that actually happened on a wrestling program. That's why you don't carry a sword to the ring. It's probably why you don't carry a sword in general. I didn't really care about this match, and they gave it, in my opinion, twice as long as it needed. But I did like the Bray and Wyndham, armbands and tribute stuff that was on, that were on the wrestlers in the background. That was nice. Obviously, Bray Wyatt, Wyndham Rotunda's sudden passing has affected everybody, wrestlers, fans alike. So that was nice. That was nice, and I expect those tributes to continue for a while. And I expect, him to always be in their hearts. So then I think it was Ivar hurled one of the New Day. I actually don't know which one because I was tuned out at this point. Hurls him into Drew and Riddle. And then Drew says, you don't chair at all. And then he throws the chair and the chair hits Xavier. So it was Kofi that got hit or got slammed into them. And then the Raiders won because, we need to push the Viking Raiders about 5 years past the time where they could have actually been taken seriously. The gimmick's ridiculous, but it is what it is. So, anyway, we do the Brave video package. And, the feels, all that. It was great. Very emotional. Very, very emotional. Trying not to crack. They show the rocking chair. Cut to black. Good stuff. Also, more Judgment Day tension. I don't know where they're going with this, and I genuinely don't care. I think they might kick Balor out, possibly. Recast of the tag match that we literally just fucking saw to fill time. Kofi then tells Drew, don't worry, it's all good. I know you didn't mean it. Xavier knows you didn't mean it. And Drew basically says, I'm going to make sure that we have a match next week with the Raiders where I don't have to tag in. So it's probably going to be a tornado tag. A Texas tornado tag. Oh, only 1 foot touched the ground. Kerry should still be in the 91-92 Rumbles. I was stumped for a bear joke. So, Imperium's out, and Gunther's on the announcer's table. He praises Gable's ability, but also knocks the fact that Gable only won by countout. He's going to take on Gable next week. This is what needs to happen. Gable can win by DQ. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with Gable winning by DQ. You give Gunther the goddamn record. I don't care what you do afterwards. You're this fucking close. I believe they're 11 days away as of now, which means if Gunther wins next week, or even if he loses via DQ, as long as he doesn't get pinned or submitted, there you are. I expect a big old schmoz because of what happened. So Gable took on Kaiser. It was fine. It was well worked. It went quite a while. There was a moonsault to the outside. Kaiser really got rocked, and it looked like Vinci got rocked as well. And then basically Gunther is like all pissed. They end up causing a DQ because Vinci jumps in when it looks like Kaiser's going to tap out to the ankle lock. And then they beat on him for a little bit. Gunther comes in, and then Gunther gets the ankle lock locked on him, so they glom him again. I mean, Otis was also there. I know this Alpha Academy stuff works for a lot of people. It doesn't work for me. Bob Barker plug, or a package on Bob Barker. Highlighting when he was a guest host for Raw. There were some good guest hosts for Raw. And there were some shit ones. That being said, Bob Barker, 99 years old. I did find it funny somebody tweeted out. Of course, Bob Barker went as close to 100 without going over. Rest in peace, you crazy bastard. Nah, Bob Barker seriously was great. The best game show host, or at least on the Mount Rushmore. Certainly not Drew Carey. I don't know why Price is Right is continuing. So that being said, Bob Barker, rest in peace. Rollins is in velour. Memphis, yowie wowie. Ouch! Ow! Yeah, he had the Bray Armband on. He calls out Nakamura and talks about he's going to beat him up and all that. He's just going to he's tired of this stuff. He's going to, back or not, he is going to make sure that he beats Nakamura. And then we get a video package of Nakamura being an intensely trained, vicious, vile killer. Which is exactly what he needed to be presented as for a while. And there was translation stuff because he was speaking Japanese, but in the English translation, I am the reason that he won't be able to walk his daughter down the aisle. Fuck. Just strap Nakamura to the point or whatever where that man is just going to be strapped. He's just going to be going crazy and everything. If Rollins really is hurt that bad, it might not hurt to put on Nakamura. Rollins has to think about his quality of life. I'm not saying write him off for good, but if his back is really that bad, yeah, he says he's been dealing with it for a number of years, the body's eventually going to give up. I mean, I would give it to Nakamura. I really would. I fear they won't, but they should. Rollins then basically mentions the Tokyo Dome. What happened to that Nakamura? What happened to Nakamura that lit up NXT? And then Nakamura ends up attacking Rollins, because of course he does. Hits him in the back, does all this and everything, and God, they've got me thinking that Nakamura might win. There was a very, very, very attractive goth woman in the third or so row. Very noticeable. I hope she's doing well. I hope everybody at the show had a great goddamn time. Zayn and Owens cut a promo on Judgment Day, a Steel City street fight because they're in Pittsburgh. Oh boy. Oh boy. So they are going to get rich or die trying. I think that's what they said. And then Ciampa attacked Here Comes Bronson before the bell. They had a match that was fine. It was fine. Air raid crash to a big pop. Remember when Bronson was Jonah and he beat Okada? That was about a year ago. That was just over a year ago. And a weird, goofy crucifix jumbled pin 1, 2, 3. I don't really know what the point of that was. That was a very messy finish. Tiffany is in the crowd to kind of hype up the fact that she had mentioned Becky Lynch on the recent NXT. By the way, I'm not going to review NXT weekly. I'm still not going to. I can't. I can't. I can only take so much wrestling that either entertains me because there's actually something good, entertains me because it's just so messy, or in the case of NXT, so much bullshit. I can only take so much bullshit from both companies each week. So Rhea, the woman that you are, the goddess that you are, she calls out Raquel. Raquel shows up. This was awkward. I don't really have anything else to say about that. And Trish and Zoe cut a promo. I mean, in a sense, it wasn't great, but it wasn't bad. They were trying to take it seriously. Payback rundown, and then a Terry Funk package, the same one that he mentioned, that Cody plugged on SmackDown. That was good. And then Becky makes her entrance at 7:36. We go to break. Zoe makes her entrance at about 7:42. And then it's a jump start with kendo sticks. It's Becky versus Zoe with Trish and a Falls Count Anywhere match. And I didn't like this, and I'll tell you why. It is not because I don't appreciate the effort of the women. I'm glad the women main evented. But if I hate it when constant weaponry is involved in so many matches, on both sides, both companies, even in Japan, if I get sick of it being done constantly in AEW and New Japan, why am I going to like it in WWE? Even if you call for some weapons, you could have told a story with a few weapons, and no, they just filled the ring with chairs and did kendo stick shots, and Trish kept interfering. And, Zoe was thrilled to be back in Memphis because she was there for Jerry's in-ring debut, Lawler and Jarrett. She actually was helpful in getting Christine Jarrett into wrestling by recommending her to Nick Goulas back in the 40s. She was there when the foundation of the Coliseum floor was, laid. Anyway, let's get back to this. Trish, we got Trish with sticks and antics and all that, and then Trish accidentally threw a chair and hit Zoe right in the goddamn face. Fortunately, Zoe kind of got her arm up to block it a little bit, but I think she got rocked a bit because she didn't really look like she was moving all that well for a bit, so I hope she's all right. So this is just a mess. I'm sorry, this was a mess. Becky just wearing Trish out with that stick. I mean, just throttling her. I mean, I have not seen two women sticking each other like that since this movie I saw online once by mistake. That's all I can talk about until the cases are settled. And yeah, the pile of chairs, I didn't like that. It's a stupid spot to do in general. It's not for me. And then a table, the people pop. They pop more for the table than just about anything else. Zoe kind of accidentally crashes into Becky's knee doing an awkward spot. It's not Zoe's fault. It's a badly planned spot. And then Trish comes back after the announcer's table is cleared up, hits a running bulldog through a table in the crowd, gets Zoe over there. She covers for a 2 count, and then Trish soon after gets sent through a table, and then manhandle slam through another table on the other side of this platform, 1, 2, 3. A better episode of Raw than usual, but not one for the memory books. It's getting to the point now where I'm thinking that either Raw or SmackDown might be on the chopping block, not because I don't appreciate the efforts of the talents, but the TV is so bland. Nevertheless, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Ritlin. I'll see you soon.